There we go. Perfect. Okay, so this morning I'm planning some hips and arm balances. So I'd like to start standing. That way we can begin opening our hip flexors right away. So let's go ahead and come to a nice wide stance. So in your wide and your broad stance, let your toes point out to about a 45-degree angle. We'll start nice and rooted and open here. But as always, let's begin just by finding this space. So bring your hands to your heart and close your eyes. And just begin to cultivate some nice deep belly breathing. Really give yourself that full freedom of air. And then let's begin to feel the connection of breath and movement. So on your inhale, feel your spine roll out nice and long, standing tall on the mat. And exhale, soften a little bit. You might even soften your knees just a touch. Inhaling to lift, to lengthen. And exhaling, softening just a touch. On your next exhale, release your hands down by your sides and inhale. Sweep them out to the sides, up to the sky. Exhale through heart center, sink down into your knees, high malasana. Inhaling, lifting, rising, opening. Exhaling, sinking deeply. And we just follow this pattern for a few breaths. Now, from this space, this opening movement meditation, if you notice that it would feel good to sustain in this space or to add on in any way to change this pattern, begin to feel empowered to do so, to address what needs to move in your body right now at this time. And then gently and gradually find your way back to stillness, rolling your way all the way back to standing. Draw your hands to heart center and set your intention for your practice today, your drishti. Once that intention is set, release your hands down by your sides. Make your way to the top of your mat and root your first Tadasana. And try to allow that first Tadasana, that first mountain pose, to be very conscious. So really feel that connection to the earth through the soles of your feet. Draw up on your inner arches, engage your belly, tailbone reaches long. Take a moment to really roll your shoulders back and down. Let that beautiful space across your heart be open. Inhale to sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to fold all the way forward. Begin right here with a simple surrender. Let the crown of your head dangle toward the earth. Let the back of your neck be long. Find a little movement if that would feel good. And then come to stillness. Plant your fingertips and inhale to step your right foot back to lunge. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, shift back. Let that left leg lengthen. Inhaling forward to lunge. And exhale back. And we'll just feel this little vinyasa for a couple breaths. Let your next inhale bring you forward to lunge. Plant your hands, press back. Downward facing dog and walk it out. Breathe some length into the backs of your legs. Remember, you can drop one hip and then the other. We're just easing into our practice this morning. Stabilize. Find stillness in your downward facing dog. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to roll your body all the way out to plank. Inhale, lengthen. Let your heart and your heels reach away from each other. Exhale, draw your navel toward your spine. Inhale to lengthen. Just warming up, building a little heat. On your next exhale, knees lifted or lowered, chaturanga. Come down to the mat. Let's start with fingertips wide. Once we touch down, walk your toes back and begin to roll one shoulder and then the other through creative cobra. Just finding that nice, beautiful opening. Big shoulder circles. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders. Turn your toes under and press back. Downward facing dog. And just take a moment right here to settle, to root your feet. And then inhale, sweep that right leg to the sky. Now turn your right toes out. So we're going to feel that hip starting to open, press through both heels. Hi. On your next exhale, coil that right knee in, shift forward, place your foot. Flowing lunge on the inhale, looking forward. Exhale, shift back, stretching the back of that right leg. Inhaling, open. Exhale to coil. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Exhale, step together and surrender. Soften over your legs. On your inhale, halfway rise. Roll your heart forward, press your tailbone away, move toward a flat back. Exhale to soften. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale to soften. One more time, halfway. On this next exhale, bend your knees, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's feel that namaskar again. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Plant your fingertips. Inhale, step your left foot back to lunge. Inhaling, looking forward. Exhale, shift back. Let your right toes rise. This time, get that deeper stretch. Inhale, forward to lunge. And exhale, shifting back. Let your next inhale bring you forward to lunge. Plant your hands, press it back, downward dog. Again, just a little movement as you land, as you stabilize. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, nice slow roll all the way out to plank. So yogi's choice here, sustain or step your feet wide and then step them back narrow. Nice and slow. Come back to plank. Bend your elbows, shave your sides, come on down to the mat. And let's find those nice wide shoulder circles again. Fingertips come off the mat. Roll it out. Big, beautiful shoulder circles. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders. Press it back, downward facing dog. And again, bring your toes to touch at the back of the mat. So let's open that left hip this time. Inhale, sweep that left foot to the sky. Turn your toes out and root through both heels. Just letting your body open, lengthening those legs. On your next exhale, coil your left knee in, shift forward. Place your foot between your hands. Flowing lunge. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, shift back, left toes rise. Inhaling forward to lunge. And exhale back. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Exhale, step together and soften. Full surrender. Rock from side to side. Let it go. Come to stillness. Bend your knees. Exhale. Roll your way all the way up. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Plant your fingertips. On your inhale, step your your right foot back to lunge. Now this time, pivot that right foot back and down. Walk your hands to the inside, walk them back. Exhaling, letting those left toes reach toward the sky. Inhaling forward, lunge. Exhaling, walking back. Let your next inhale bring you forward to lunge. Lower that right knee all the way down to the mat. Walk your hands fully back. Ardha Hanuman right here, lengthening. Exhaling to soften. And if you're in the tight hamstrings club with me, feel free to cheat that left heel forward a little bit, just to get the deep stretch along the back of your leg. Walk your hands forward, turn your right toes under, float your way back, downward facing dog. On this next vinyasa, move as slowly as you can. So all the way out to plank, down to the earth and back to downward dog, but as though you are moving through molasses. Once you have landed in downward facing dog, sweep that right leg to the sky. Let's find hip mandalas. This time, coil your right knee into your core and then open slowly out to the side, the back, and draw it through. So we're feeling big, beautiful, slow hip circles here. Go through full range of motion, unless you are hypermobile, in which case go through your safe range of motion. On your next exhale, coil that right knee in, shift forward. Place your right foot between your hands. Pivot your left foot back and down, so a Vira 2-foot position. Walk your hands to the inside. Exhale, shift back, bend that left knee, right toes reach toward the sky. Inhaling forward to lunge. Exhaling, shifting back, stretching it out. Let your next inhale bring you forward to lunge. Space your hands to either side. Pivot on your back foot. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, step together and fold. On your next exhale, bend your knees, roll your way up. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Reset Tadasana one more time. Last time through our opening namaskar. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. Plant your fingertips. Inhale, step your left foot back to lunge. Turn your left foot to face out. Bring your hands to the inside. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, shifting back. Right toes rise. Inhaling, shifting forward. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Pivot on your left foot to lower that knee down to the mat. Walk your hands back, right toes rise. And again, if you're in the tight hamstrings club with me, like if you look up here, you can see the bend in my knee. Feel free to wiggle that right foot forward. Then find half monkey pose, Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale, creating length. Exhale, softening. Walk your fingertips forward, turn your left toes under, float back, downward facing dog. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, roll your body all the way out to plank. Inhale right here. Exhale, roll it back, downward facing dog. So we roll on the exhale, rolling out, feeling the articulation of our spines. And then exhale, roll it back. On your next roll out, follow it through Chaturanga and to the heart opener of your choice. So maybe that's Cobra, Creative Cobra, Up Dog, whatever feels really good today, that's where you go. And then press it back. Downward facing dog. Bring your toes to touch the back of the mat. Inhale to sweep your left leg to the sky. Exhale, coil it in. Inhaling, opening out to the side, the back, and drawing through. Hit mandalas. On your next exhale, coil your left knee in, shift forward. Place your left foot between your hands. Now walk your hands to the inside, pivot that right foot back and down. Walk your hands back, left toes rise. Inhaling forward. Exhaling, shifting back. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Pivot on your back foot, space your hands evenly. Look forward and step together. Surrender here. Find ease. Rock from side to side, let it go. And then come to stillness. Bend your knees, exhale, roll your way all the way up. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. And release those hands down. Let's come down and take a seat on the mat real quick, just to stretch out that piriformis and glute before we go further. So from here, I'd like you to bundle in your right leg, coming into cradle the baby or Hindalasana. And just rock from side to side. Begin to stretch out that section right here where we always hold tension. Try to flex your right foot. Now, as your body begins to open, feel free to bundle in a little further. Remember to root to rise, so we keep our spines nice and long. And then we'll just release that right foot down to the earth and feel that on the left side. So again, bundling in. Remembering that our bodies are asymmetrical, so this is going to be different on one side than the other. For me, this is my tighter side. This is the side where I have piriformis syndrome. So it's always a little bit less stretchy. And again, check in with your spine. If you notice that you're starting to make that C shape, just root to rise, feeling nice and long and tall. And then come back to stillness, set that foot down. So we're going to come back to standing. And we're going to begin by shifting all of our weight into our right foot. So you'll feel that connection down to the earth. From here, cross your left ankle across your right leg. And that ankle's going to rest on that fleshy spot just above the knee. Let's begin by bringing hands to heart center. Find your balance here. On your exhale, begin to sink. Bending that right knee, sinking your hips toward the earth. Stabilize right here. It's okay if you come off balance a little bit and need to find it again. Now, depending on how your body is feeling, maybe you stay here. Maybe you bring your fingertips down to the mat. So we're going to begin working toward flying pigeon here, and there are a couple of tricks for this pose. The biggest one that works in my body is to make sure that left foot is hooked firmly around that right upper arm. So really squeeze your upper arm with that foot. I need to walk my hands a little further forward in order to be able to bend my knee enough to shift my weight forward. Now, if you found your balance, maybe you float that right foot off the mat. And we'll just do a little yoga playground here with flying pigeon. And if it's open to you, you might be able to extend that right leg long. And when you are all done playing on this side, come on down to the mat, all the way down to hands and knees. And let's counterpose those wrists. So for my preference, I like to turn my palms under and begin to rock a little bit of weight into my wrists. If it feels better for you to shake out your wrists or to turn them, feel free to do so. This is going to be different for everyone. And then let's make our way back to standing so we can feel this on the other side. So once again, we'll set up a nice stable base. This time we're going to put all of that weight into the left foot. Again, strong core, rooting down. Float your right knee, cross your right ankle over that left knee. And again, that ankle rests on that fleshy spot just above your knee. Hands come to your heart. Shift back like you're going to take a seat. And just stabilize right here. Maybe getting a nice deep stretch. And then it's yoga playground again. So from here, maybe we stay, maybe we reach our fingertips down to the mat. And just remembering that little trick, right? Hook the bottom of, or rather the top of your right foot around your left upper arm. I usually need to walk my hands forward and maybe shift back a little bit so I don't hit this bookshelf. And then bend your elbows as though it's chaturanga and begin to shift your weight forward. If it's open to you, maybe you float that left leg, maybe the left leg extends. And then when you are all done playing, come on back down and let's counterpose those wrists. So again, rolling them out, maybe rocking some weight into the backs of your wrists, whatever feels better. From here, please make your way to downward facing dog. You can get there however you would like to. Once you've arrived in downward facing dog, take a moment to come to stillness. Inhale, sweep that right leg to the sky. Bend your knee and press your heel over to the left. Let's get that deep, beautiful, full hip stretch right here. On your next exhale, coil your right knee in, shift forward, and place your foot between your hands. Pivot your left foot back and down. Exhale, roll your body up, find your warrior two. Take a moment to fidget here. I always need to fix my shirt and move my hair, so take a moment, get settled. Sink deeply into that right knee. Bring your hands to your heart and then radiate them out. Flip your right hand to face the sky. Inhale, sweep up and back, dancing warrior. Exhale, right elbow to right knee, reach that left arm long. And up and back. Following your breath, remembering that there are so many variations of dancing warrior. So if you have one you love, feel free to take that here. Now on this next exhale, let's begin to deepen through the hip. Exhale to Superman your arms, sinking low. Inhaling up and back. Exhaling, going for that deeper expression. Inhaling to reverse warrior. On this next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Pivot on your back foot, lower that left knee down. So we find ourselves in the opening stretch for lizard pose. So from here, you can evaluate how open your hips are feeling. So maybe you stay with your arms extended. Maybe you find a block. And bend your elbows and come down to your forearms. If your hips are very open, maybe you come all the way down to the mat. Now remember, we breathe, right? Every inhale, we feel length. Every exhale, try to hug that right knee toward your right shoulder a little more. Walk your hands up. So from here, we're going to shift back to play a little bit with full Hanuman, full splits. Now, I've mentioned before, I'm in the tight hamstrings club. So for me, I'm going to position blocks to either side of my hips so that I can balance safely. To begin, simply come up to low kneeling. Begin to heel toe that right foot forward and that left foot back. Now, in full Hanuman, we try to never collapse, right? We don't want to be melting over that right leg. We want to stay lifted, core is engaged. We want to feel up and out energy, hugging the inner thighs toward each other. And still getting the benefit of that deep stretch in the hip flexor, hamstring, throughout the entire hip joint. And then, of course, the fun part, getting back out. So you can wiggle your left knee back in. Bring your toes to touch, knees come wide. Child's pose, walk your hands forward and melt. Just soften. Come down to the earth. Come back to your intention for your practice this morning. And then as you're ready, press your way back. We're going to find our way to downward facing dog. Bring your toes to touch at the back of the mat. Inhale to sweep your left leg to the sky. Bend your knee. Press your heel over to the right. Again, feeling that beautiful hip stretch. Inhale to create space in that hip. Exhale to soften. So we're still feeling that pulse of breath. On your next exhale, coil your left knee in, shift forward. Place your left foot at the top of the mat. Pivot your right foot back and down. Inhale it up, veer it two. Again, take a moment, root that pose, get settled. Radiate your arms. Flip your left hand to face the sky. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, extension through side angle. Inhaling up and back. So let's begin to deepen this expression. On your next exhale, dive your left arm underneath that left knee. Inhale, strong belly brings you back up. Exhaling, Superman your arms. Now from here, on your exhale, pinwheel both hands down. They come to the inside. Pivot on your right foot and lower that right knee down. So again, we find ourselves moving toward lizard right here. Remembering that your body is asymmetrical, find the stretch that works for you. So again, maybe arms stay extended. Maybe you come down to your forearms on a block. Maybe you come all the way down to the earth. Remember your pulse. Exhaling, coiling that left knee toward that left shoulder. Core engages. Inhale. Melt that right hip. Let your heart radiate forward. From here, walk your hands up and back. We're going to play with Hanuman on this left side. So grab your blocks if you were using them before. Bring them to the sides of your body, right by your hips, so that your fingertips can root down easily. Begin to wiggle that right knee back and that left heel forward. Toes facing the sky. Go slowly, right? And just staying aware, right? So if you're very flexible, remember, we want to stay engaged. Core is strong here. Inner thighs are hugging toward each other. We try not to collapse into splits or into Hanuman. And then again, the fun part, finding your way out. Turn your right toes under, scoot that knee in a little bit. Toes touch, knees are wide. Child's pose, walk your hands forward and mount. As always, coming back to your breath, back to your intention. Walk your hands up, knees come together. So we're going to play around a little bit with Basana or Firefly pose. Remember, with all arm balances, there are so many places to stop along the way. And your expression on any given day will change, right? So some days I have flying pigeon, some days I don't. Some days I have Basana, some days I don't. And that's totally okay, especially right now while the world is extremely weird. So my preferred way to get into Firefly pose starts with a nice wide-legged stance on the mat. So I invite you to come up to standing. Let your toes be about the width of the mat. So nice and wide. Inhale to sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to fold forward. Now let your fingertips touch down to the mat here. We're going to bend our knees a little bit and work one shoulder underneath. So I'm diving my left shoulder under and then my right. So we're reaching behind ourselves. Where your hands rest is going to vary a little bit depending on your body. For some people, fingertips pointing back feels better. I've met a handful where fingertips pointing forward feels better. In my body, fingertips pointing back feels better. Now from here, we can wiggle our feet in a little bit more, bend our elbows, plant our hands, and begin to draw our toes toward each other. So from here, maybe we shift our weight back a little bit and lift one foot and then the other. If you have the ability in your body, maybe you float both feet off the earth. Maybe you extend both legs. And maybe you fall back on your bum, and that's totally okay here too. And then when you are all done playing, just come on down to the mat. Once again, let's counterpose those wrists. Anytime we get into unbalance, of course, we're putting an awful lot of weight on a very narrow piece of bone. So let's work that out a little bit. Good, so from here, let's close it out with a little bit of time in pigeon since we're already so open. So simply come to tabletop, step your right knee forward and begin to work that right foot all the way out to the side. Sink down into your hips, create plenty of length, and then exhale, fold all the way forward. Come down to prostration. Remember to breathe into any spaces that are holding out on you. From here, simply walk your hands up. Lift that left knee. We'll switch it out, coming to the center of the mat and then just facing the back of the mat. So we turn that left foot out. Again, finding our pigeon. Melting the hip. Create length in your spine. And then exhale, sink all the way down. Just softening down to the earth. Gently make your way out, walking back to the center of the mat. Draw your left heel in, place your right foot out in front of you, and then draw that right foot to the outside of your left knee. Set up for your seated twist. Sweep your right hand back and down, plant that hand, roll your right shoulder back and down, and press into the mat to create length. Inhale to reach toward the sky. Now remember, with that left arm, we want to go up, over, and then down, which gives us a little bit more rotation. Finding your seated twist. Begin to cultivate that stretch. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, turning your heart toward the back of the room. Inhale to come back to center. Sweep your hands over to the left. Plant your fingertips. Let your spine curve. And come back to center. Switch it out. Tuck that right heel in. Left foot plants out in front and then move it to the outside. Sweep your left hand down to the mat, plant that hand, roll your shoulder back and down, creating length. Inhale, reach your right arm to the sky, reach up, over, and then down. Again, finding a little bit more rotation here. Turning your heart toward the back of the room. Every exhale, freeing up just a little bit more space. Inhale to come back to center. Sweep your hands over to the right. Plant your fingertips and curve your spine. Come back to center. I invite you to find the inversion of your choice. So that could be shoulder stand. We're definitely open for Pigeon if you'd like to do a forearm handstand. Find a nice supportive surface for you if you want to do that. But begin to find a nice way to bring your feet higher than your heart. And then when you are done playing with your inversion, make your way back to the mat if you left it. And roll your way all the way down onto your back. Let's set up for a little back bend sequence. So we find our base for bridge pose. Heels come just beneath the glutes, fingertips reach toward the earth. On your inhale, press into your feet to lift your hips up off the mat. If you'd like to, you're welcome to walk your shoulders under here. Interlace your fingers and press your palms away. Now we're still going to follow the rise and fall of breath. So on your inhale, feel your body opening. Exhale, softening just a little bit. From here, let's find our way down, walking our shoulders out. Draw your knees in toward your chest, rock from side to side. Hips are nice and open, so if you'd like, you're welcome to transition to happy baby here. Finding your toes and just enjoying a little bit more hip time. Come to center, draw your knees together. Open your arms out to either side, make a nice big T on the mat. Drop your knees off to your right hand side and turn your head to look to the left. If you have room and it's open for you, you're welcome to find that left foot and maybe find extension here in your twists. Inhale to come back to center. Drop your knees off to the left. Turn your head to look to the right. Again, maybe you find that right foot with your left hand. Stretching out your iliotibial band, rooting that right hip down. Inhale to come back to center. Rock from side to side. Now, if there is any additional movement, any stretch, any asana, anything at all that you would like to feel, take a moment to address that need in your body, whatever it happens to be. And then nice and gently begin to make your way toward your Shavasana. Remembering, as always, that you have options. So you can lie flat on your back if that feels good in your body. You're also welcome to have your knees bent. If you do that, bring your feet to the width of the mat and let your knees fall together at the center so your body can still relax. You can take seated meditation or lie on your side, whatever feels best. So as you find your way into this space of stillness, simply begin to feel your connection to the earth. Notice all the points where your body is touching. Let those points of connection begin to soften, to become less distinct. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes and your forehead. If you find yourself drawn into a pattern of thought, simply acknowledge it and then come back to this moment, to the feeling of the breath moving in your body. Allow your breath to create length within your body. Begin to find some little movements of your fingertips and your toes. Just bringing you back to this day, to this time. Point your toes away, reach your arms up overhead. Take a nice deep breath in, full body stretch. Then exhale to draw your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Eventually finding your way all the way over onto your right. Just curl into the posture of the sleeping child. Take a moment right here to feel the web of love and connection that holds you. The bonds we share with the humans and perhaps the animals we live with. The ones that are close to our hearts but maybe not geographically in the same space. Feel that wonderful connection of love spreading out and around you. Feel the way it holds you right here in this moment. And then whenever you are ready, use your hands to help press yourself up to a nice, easy seated position. Bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes. We'll close our practice this morning with a round of Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, prayer for peace. Inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this morning. Namaste. Thank you so much, my friends. It is so good to spend time with you. Forward. There we go. And I'm going to stop the recording.